The first student of Miyagi-Do Daniel recruited was none other than the son of Johnny Lawrence. What if Robbie simply said no to Daniel, however, when he offered to train and simply kept the job at LaRusso Auto to piss off Johnny? Actually, let me use less words. What if Robbie never learned karate? For the scenario to happen, it's pretty simple. Robbie simply doesn't like karate due to his father teaching it, and since Robbie at this point is just baby raging over Johnny, we will say that he sticks to his anger and simply just bonds with Daniel at LaRusso Auto, and the two wouldn't be nearly as close as they were in canon, but the father-son kind of bond is still there between the two. Daniel, instead of training Robbie, would more than likely bring Sam back into Miyagi-Do, which I think she just follows along with since it was already hinted at in season 1 that she still had some fight left in her. And with Sam doing the same training as Robbie, only with more experience starting out, she would theoretically be an even bigger beast than season 1 Robbie was. I mean, considering Robbie post season 1 already is sort of relatively below Sam, who picked up on her training in season 2, it shouldn't be a stretch to say Sam is slapping season 1 Robbie by the end of her forest training, as now Sam has the strongest kick in Miyagi-Do at her disposal. I think instead of Robbie and Sam having dinner, instead we would have Sam and Daniel training out by the pool, which would reveal to Miguel that Sam wanting to swap dojos, or getting him out of Cobra Kai, was just so he could join with her and his sensei's worst enemy. At this point, I think Miguel would have a similar situation to what was in season 1 in a sense where he would be mad at Sam, and especially since Robbie isn't around, which means Sam never goes to the party. And since Robbie never trains at Miyagi-Do, he'd more than likely be taking more shifts to bond with Danny. And this is where he would call in Robbie, like in canon, to take Johnny's car, and in this timeline, he's actually at work on that day. This means after Johnny gets his car destroyed, which would lead into Danny and Johnny actually getting along, we would have things becoming way worse. When Robbie comes out to take Johnny to his car, he would see his father, and like when Johnny saw Robbie at first, he would attack Daniel after Daniel tried introducing Robbie to Johnny, but Robbie would intervene, telling his dad to stop. This catches Daniel's attention, who realizes Robbie and Johnny are related and Robbie lied, and it would fire Robbie right then and there. Meanwhile, Johnny would get pissed off and take his car, not needing a test drive. He'd go back home where his anger would then consume him, and sadly, like in canon, we have Johnny embracing no mercy. Now, when they arrive in the All Valley, we would have Miguel and Sam straight up arguing about everything, with Miguel catching Sam trying to lie about not getting Miguel out of Cobra Kai. And especially with Johnny's rage influencing the other students, like in canon, the two would break up, with Sam intending to defeat Miguel. Sam just replaces Robbie in this timeline, defeating some fodder until going up against Hawk. Hawk, wanting to defend his bro, would intend on beating Sam up, which he initially does. This is because the comments that Hawk was making about her and Miguel were frustrating her, preventing her from being focused. However, when Sam begins to use her focus, she proceeds to mop the floor with Hawk, and even when he attempts to dislocate her arm, she easily evades the attack and low sweeps him. Both of them would get a warning, with the rest saying the next person to do that is disqualified. Sam lets her anger get the better of her, but she remembers her training at the forest, getting in the zone once again. This is when she would get in a position Daniel would immediately recognize. Hawk, not knowing what to do, would charge in with all of his might, but that's when we see Hawk's attack being immediately countered. Sam uses the drum technique to throw Hawk off, allowing her to land a kick to the stomach, catching the last point. She defeats Hawk, and like in canon, the finale is still Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai, only now it's Sam versus Miguel. Instead of Robbie fighting at the tournament, he would be in the crowd somewhere locking eyes with Daniel. Daniel is still mad about everything, but Amanda smacks him out of it, saying he clearly didn't intend to hurt Daniel. Daniel would go to where Robbie is, and the two would be able to talk it out, with Robbie apologizing, but Daniel would cut him off, apologizing first. He should have heard Robbie's side if anything, and because of that, he just blindly yelled at Robbie. He would offer his job back, to which Robbie would accept, and like in canon, he would also talk to Robbie about Johnny and how he may still hate him, but even Daniel can see that Johnny isn't the same as he was a kid. He's not a bad guy, he was just taught the wrong things. Miguel and Sam would go on to fight in the finale, and this time Miyagi-Do has the advantage. She's stronger than the Robbie that almost beat Miguel in the first place, plus she has no injuries. I think confidently I can say that Sam has his W in the bag, which means Kreese never returns, along with Miyagi-Do becoming a big name. I also think because of Miguel not winning, No Mercy is just immediately disregarded early on in season 2, since it's just proof that it doesn't work. Season 2 would mainly be focusing on Johnny and Robbie fixing their relationship, all the while Tori and Sam's rivalry would build up the same, while Miguel would try and get back with Sam. The school fight could potentially happen still, just without including Robbie due to him not training in karate at all and never having a passion for it. So the school fight really just becomes who will become Miguel's girlfriend, and in that case it would just be Sam since they've already had better chemistry and a foundation. Not to mention Sam also beat Tori in the first place. Though I feel like by that point the story just has an odd conclusion because Tori's like the only one going through it. However, I feel like Johnny and Robbie would probably talk it out by the end of things, since by the end of season 2 they were already pretty close. And who knows, maybe Johnny doesn't give up on Tori similarly to how Kreese doesn't give up on Tori. This in turn leads into Robbie and Tori getting together, and the best relationship in Cobra Kai can still maybe happen. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is probably where the what if ends off. Unironically, if Robbie never learned karate, this series would cut short since he would never, do this. And he would definitely be a lot more likable than his season 1 and 2 canon counterparts. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you are new, hit the bell icon, follow me on Twitter. No one ever does that. And see you guys in the next one. Bye!